Alright, we back. On the last episode, we discussed the star of Complex's new talk show, Everyday Struggle, with DJ Academics, Joe Budden, and Nadeska Alexis, as well as their first two guest appearances by Lil Yachty and Wale, which both were a little bit of a mess, but also one of the better moments back when the show was still good. This episode, we'll be mainly discussing Jay-Z's 2017 album, 444, and all the controversy surrounding it. Let's go. So while this album did come out on June 30th, 2017, we're going to go about a year and a half back in time to April 23rd, 2016, when Beyonce did her big album surprise drop, Lemonade. 2016 was an amazing year for hip-hop, one of my favorites of all time. If you don't know, I believe hip-hop peaked in 2018, and I mean that in every good way possible, and kind of bad. And while we're still in 2017 with this series so far, trust me, when I get to the 2018 episodes, you'll know exactly what I mean. But let's get back to 2016. I'm not going to stay on Lemonade too long, but I want to focus on the song Sorry specifically for a second, because that song is the main catalyst for the subject matter of 444. Let's just get this out of the way real quick. My bias with Beyonce, I got zero problems with her. I believe she's very smart, very beautiful, and very talented. What I don't believe is that Becky with the good hair is a real person. I think it's more of a metaphor, and I want to go over a couple lyrics from the song Sorry, and I'll explain throughout the video why I think this is. So in the last stretch of the song, she really brings the passion and the emotion and the showmanship. I feel like this could have been a scene from a musical, and with that also comes the fantasy that I believe the story to be. So she sets the scene of waiting for this man to come home, and she keeps looking at her watch, because he was supposed to have been there. He has a lot of excuses that she's just not buying, and she wants to get to the bottom of it. Well, I guess between this line and the previous one, the truth was revealed about what her lover was doing, because she said she left a note in the hallway, like she's some kind of princess or some shit, or maybe a queen. And it says that by the time he gets back, she'll be far away. Also meaning that his ass still wasn't gonna be back for a long time. She wants to have a toast to the good life, but apparently not to the douchebags, and says her and her daughter will be just fine. And let me take a moment to point out the fabrication of this story. Me and my baby gonna be alright, to me, implies that whoever her now ex-man is, he won't get to see their daughter. You really think young Hove will let that bullshit happen? Exactly. It would more likely happen with a normal civilian woman, who are the exact ones that will be listening to this album and song. These celebrities love selling us a dream, a lifestyle, and a way of thinking. But let's proceed. She says that big homie better grow up, and that her and her woadies, meaning her girls or her goons, are gonna pull up and get shit bracking. She sees the hoes, or boppers, in the corner, sneaking out the back door, I guess to hope to catch Jay-Z alone and put the work on him. That to me is the most realistic part of the song, and it still sounds a bit shaky. She ends the song quickly but effectively saying, "He only want me when I'm not there. He better call Becky with the good hair." Then there's a dramatic pause. He better call Becky with the good hair. So who is Becky? We may never know, and I'm sure that's exactly how they prefer it. But let's quickly go through the suspects. Amber Rose theorized it was Gwyneth Paltrow, and her reasoning was that Beyonce and Gwyneth were friends at one point, and then you didn't see them together anymore. And then I guess Gwyneth got divorced sometime after that. About a month later, she backtracked and said she was just kidding, and said she forgot how famous she really was sometimes. Get it? Famous. And she said that situation got her in a lot of trouble. So, out of here. Next up, Rita Ora, who was signed to Roc Nation until 2015, in which she sued them over delaying her second album, and of course was released from the contract in 2016. Kinda sad with her because I feel like she wanted to be a big star, but I'm guessing for multiple reasons, it just didn't happen. One, of course, was Roc Nation supposedly not honoring their contract and letting her release music more often. But I also believe a big blow to her career and image was A$AP Rocky exposing her as being a spitter back in 2015. And when we say spitter, I ain't talking about rap. I think him exposing her like that kind of ruined her sexual image that she was/is trying to portray. Not saying that a woman has to swallow to have sex appeal, but a lot of viewers and listeners love hearing that the celebrity is a freak. So not doing something as simple as swallowing, I think kind of was a big hit. Trust me though, she loves finding other ways to express herself. One specific way, actually. I only bring all that up because I'm probably never going to have a reason to bring her up or talk about her on any future videos on this channel. She still sings and does her thing and stuff. and I'm not sure how these rumors of her being Becky started, but she made an official attempt at ending it by posting up a weird Snapchat pic of her and the Queen. Anyway, the next possible Becky is Rachel Roy, who of course is the ex-wife of Jay-Z's old business partner, Dame Dash. Now, why was she a suspected Becky? Well, I'm pretty sure you all remember that infamous clip of Solange in the elevator with Jay-Z, right? It was later theorized that Solange had attacked Jay-Z because she was upset that Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, and after the incident happened, it was revealed that Solange had got into it with a group of people that happened to include Rachel Roy, and while she was supposedly just in the group, it wasn't specifically targeted by Solange. The tabloids made it seem like she targeted her specifically, but that's enough gossip talk. I'm about to get into the album, but one more quick thing. In late 2016, Kanye West was on his St. Pablo tour, and I'll go deeper into that when I get to the episodes about him. He said this about Beyonce's industry politics and Jay not calling him.
The vibes is back. Motherfuckers might feel a way about this tonight. Beyonce, I was hurt. Because I heard that you said you wouldn't perform unless you won Video of the Year over me and over how I live. In my opinion, now don't go trying to diss Beyonce. She is great. Taylor Swift is great. We are all great people. We are all equal. But sometimes we be playing the politics too much and forgetting who we are. Just to win. Fuck winning. Fuck looking cool. Fuck looking cool. Fuck being cool. Fuck all that, bruh. I've been sitting here to give y'all my truth, even at the risk of my own life, even at the risk of my own success, my own career. I've been sitting here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z called me, bruh. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bruh, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man. I'm not trying to be the man. I just am a man. The same as everybody here.
My bias with Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z, and I see why people rate him so highly and see him as the GOAT. But for me, he has a handful of songs and feature verses on other people's songs that I think are some of the greatest raps put out. Other than that, most of his songs and topics are just not interesting to me. He barely ever holds my attention for the full durations of his song. Blueprint 3 is my favorite, which, by the way, some have said that 444 has something to do with Blueprint 4. Well, that's probably just a reach. Anyway, after Beyonce released Lemonade, I always knew that Jay was going to release something of a response album. That's why to this day, I'm still side-eyeing the legitimacy of this scandal. Two very successful artists who are also a married couple. They are/were looked at as the Angelina Brad Pitt level celeb couple. But as of 2021, even that relationship didn't live up to our lofty expectations. It just always seemed obvious to me, at least, that they released these albums and publicly put out these stories to get their buzz back. Nobody wants to hear the struggles of two billionaires, but what do they want to hear? A juicy scandal from two wealthy black people who seem like they have it all. It's actually kind of genius. And by the way, both albums were pretty much turned into visual albums, and they made sure each one of their respective albums got their own separate music videos for each song. I doubt that's a coincidence, but on to the album. So Jay said in an interview that he started the album in January 2017, and that No ID called him in late 2016 and told him that he had some songs that he thought would be Blueprint 4 level, which kind of adds to the legitimacy of this somewhat being like a spiritual version of Blueprint 4. But we'll get to the reason it's called 444 a little bit later. The first two songs Jay said he made was Kill Jay-Z and OJ, which happens to be the first two songs on the album. So let's get into it. On Kill Jay-Z, he takes quite a few shots at some people and owns up to some of his own flaws. First, he addresses Kanye saying, "But you got hurt because you did cool by Ye. You gave him 20 million without blinking. He gave you 20 minutes on stage. Fuck was he thinking?" Kanye would respond to this in 2018 saying Jay didn't actually give him the 20 million. He just convinced some other people to give him the money, but whatever, semantics. Jay would say in a Rap Radar interview that he was mainly upset that Kanye brought up his family in the 2016 stage rant and said that there solely is where Kanye crossed the line. Kanye responded saying that they're supposed to be family, so it shouldn't have been that much of a problem. But if they aren't family, then he understands Jay's point. He takes the blame in Solange altercation saying, "Let your ego go over your right shoulder. You're left is saying, finish your breakfast. You egg solange on, knowing all along all you had to say was you was wrong. So get it? Breakfast, let go ego, let go my ego. He egged her on, eggs, breakfast. Yeah. Now this line, in the future, niggas playing football with your son. Referencing Future's ex-girlfriend / baby mama Sierra having custody of their son whose actual name is Future. And of course she's in a relationship with Russell Wilson, who was a football player. And Future did respond to this in saying he called Jay and he said Jay was copping pleas.
Hear a line like Jay-Z say, you know, playing football in the future. Niggas
Yeah, but
playing
then when
football
Jay-Z,
with your
when I
son.
talked to him, I didn't really say that. I don't want, man.
And Jay said in the Rap Radar interview that he never meant any harm, and it was just a rappity rap bar that came to him, and he thought people were being a little sensitive about it. So yeah, pretty good song. Next up, story of OJ. Jay gets on his spoken word at the late night jazz club type shit and gives us $1 million worth of game for $9.99. Future caught another stray, unfortunately, with this line. Y'all on the gram holding money to your ear. There's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. So, you know, rappers be doing the money phone. And this is an amazing line. Since, you know, it's a money phone, he says, we don't call that money over here. Meaning we don't consider that money, but also disconnect. If your phone is disconnected, you can't call it. So there's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. And also he's just letting y'all know the level he's on. There's a disconnect, meaning what he's doing and what people are doing the money phone are doing are on two different levels. He also clarified this on Rap Radar, saying he's not telling rappers not to do the money phone, but he's just saying what him and his friends do. And of course, Future responded on Snapchat with the money phone, telling Jay he ain't got the juice like that. There you go. All in all, it's a good song, but Pusha T made me not care about this version. And woo, when we get to that episode, man. 444, the title track. Jay-Z wears his heart on his sleeve again. Jay confirmed he woke up at 4:44 in the morning and recorded this song with Beyonce's mic. And in the song, he mentions a threesome. So were there two Beckys, or is he just being hypothetical, or I don't know. Get it, Jay. Next up is Family Feud, featuring Beyonce on the background vocals and outro. According to Jay, the song is about separation within the culture. For example, new rappers versus old rappers. Nobody wins when the family feuds. It also seems to be something of a black empowerment song. The song has some pretty great lines. He shouts out, or maybe disses, Steve Harvey and his suit. Hove lets us know there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire and says that he's cute, with Beyonce moaning in the background after he says a line, I guess to cement his point. He also says 2 billionaires, meaning him and Beyonce, are better than one, so there's no feuding between them. He cleverly picks a politically incorrect statement of something barely anybody cares about, that being calling super short people midgets. Here's his first, and I believe only mention of Becky with the good hair on the album, and given that Beyonce is on the song, and the subject matter of the song makes perfect sense. And Jay tells him to leave her alone, which, by the way, just seems like he's talking more about that type of woman that wants to ruin him and his relationship, not a specific person, but whatever. He mentions in Shades the Al Sharpton mirror selfie that had gone viral a few weeks prior to the album releasing, and this is Bill Cosby. Beyonce kind of appears at the end, but mostly only to harmonize, showing he was still someone in the doghouse, but there's no family feuding, so they can still collaborate on the subject matter, and this instrumental is beautiful. In retrospect, if you're wondering why I specifically mentioned these few songs on 444, in the first episode of the series, which I'll link up top of the video right now, I mentioned there are 3, but really 4, artists/albums that changed the game in 2017 and 2018. One of them was Kendrick Lamar's Damn, and with that, Kendrick went fully mainstream and popularized the Big Word album title, and within the album, had him at the top of his form while still being able to tell stories and be himself. Jay-Z is the second to set the standard for all the best projects all throughout 2018, which will be one of the best parts of this series. With 444, Jay popularized and I believe inspired a lot of honesty going forward to get a lot more personal and reveal more of their life and struggles. So 2 down, 2 to go. Spoiler warning, they won't appear till 2018. Anyways, 444 sold 1 million first week again, just like Magna Carta Holy Grail, because of his deal with Sprint, which he says counts in his eyes, even though Billboard said it didn't. And his explanation is that streaming changed the game and they hadn't adjusted to streaming yet, so the odds are already stacked against him and the numbers never made sense anyway. Jay would later copy J. Cole by growing out his little tarantula dreads. 50 Cent called the album golf course music.
I listened to Jay shit, that 444. I thought the shit was alright, you know what I'm saying? I like the shit.
but I'm gonna keep it 100. The shit was too smart. I ain't gonna hold you up, son. That shit was like golf course music.
Jay and Beyonce would of course come back together in 2018 for a joint album to officially cement their love and power. And as of 2021, Jay is chillin', Bey is chillin'. What more can I say? Meanwhile, Yo Gotti dropped his hit song, Rake It Up, featuring Nicki Minaj, who really needed a hit at this time, but I'll cover that later. As of 2021, the song is 3 times platinum. Wi-Fi's funeral tried to crowd surf, but apparently he kicked somebody in the face while doing so the crowd knocked him unconscious and carried his body around for a little bit. He posted up this after though, so it's all good. Khaled and Drake dropped To The Max, which is now certified gold. SZA dropped her album, Control, featuring hit songs like Love Galore, The Weeknd, and Broken Clocks. 2 Chainz dropped Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, which was a great album, featuring songs like Saturday Night, Good Drink with Quavo and Gucci, Poor Fool, featuring Sway Lee, which has an amazing instrumental and hook, Big Amount featuring Drake, and It's a Vibe featuring Jhené Aiko, Trey Songz, and Ty Dolla. Oh yes, and how could I forget Realize featuring a great verse from Nicki. Unfortunately, less than a week after the song was out, Remy Ma performed at Summer Jam with other female rap legends, and of course she performed her diss, Sheether, that she put out a couple months prior, and put Nicki Minaj's face on the big screen. It's going to be very interesting when I get to Nicki's analysis video, but yeah, 2017 wasn't exactly a good year for her. She'll be back though. Travis was seen gripping on Kylie. Thick, Rihanna became a big topic of conversation. Birdman said he wanted to executive produce 50 Cent's next album. As of 2021, 50 Cent hasn't dropped an official studio album, and I don't think Birdman has executive produced an album, unless it was Jacquees or some shit. Speaking of Jacquees, he announced his debut album was dropping June 17th, 2017. It finally came out September 7th, 2018. Young Thug made a beat from his homie snoring.
Let's make a beat.
Lil Yachty did a Simpsons rap. Joyner Lucas dropped his 4th mixtape, which by the way, in 2019, on Everyday Struggle, he said he told Logic's manager about some of the concepts, including the phone number idea, and says Logic stole that and the suicide idea from him and used it before he could. Chief Keef dropped his mixtape, Dot Breaker. Jay Electronica dropped Letter to Fallon because of Kevin Durant and how people thinking he was about to do an album rollout. Of course, the album didn't come out till 3 years later, but familiarity don't breed gratitude, just contempt. XXX Tentacion got knocked down on stage by Rob Stone. Here's his response.
Fucking sense to end the show for a nigga sucker punching me? The fuck you got going on? We lit tonight, bitch. Stop hating. Listen, I'm still in Cali. I want all the smoke. Come to my show. I mean, your motherfucking steak. I want all the pressure. Come knock me the fuck out. Again, let's have a repeat. Alright? For anybody asking me how I feel though, I feel straight. In the end of the day, this is the life I live. Nigga finally caught me lacking. And it was about time. Bitch, I was, what, 5-0? Shit. About fucking time a nigga knocked me the fuck out. Anybody talking about it was that pussy boy artist. Just so you know, it was some gay niggas from San Diego, some affiliates that snuck in through the side, paid security off so they could come in, snuff me out, and thought they was gonna jump me, but we was too deep. So
Bow Wow ran from fans in North Carolina. Rick Ross released his music video for his song Idols Become Rivals, where he disses Birdman in all kinds of ways. And he brought in Bangladesh, who, if you don't know, is the producer behind some of Wayne's biggest songs, like A Milli and 6 Foot 7 Foot. And he's one of the many producers and artists who said Birdman didn't pay them. Big Boy dropped his album, Boomyverse. Travis was seen in South Africa. Takeoff got some new ice. Kendrick shouts out Jay, Nipsey Hussle, Lil Meech, and 2 Chainz in a rare Twitter post. Mobb Deep member Prodigy died from choking while eating. R.I.P. to him. Lil Yachty, Tyler, Kendall Jenner, and Kourtney Kardashian went to the movies together. DJ Khaled dropped his album, Grateful. Vince Staples dropped his album, Big Fish Theory, which is his version of Damn. J and B have their twins. Ugly God releases a diss to himself. Bryson Tiller released his second album, True to Self. And lastly, I'm going to go over the 2017 XXL freshman cover list. Just real quick, I'm going to go through each artist to see where their careers stand from 2017 and as far as 2021 now. Kamaya, kind of fell off. Blockboy JB, fell off. P&B Rock, recently he was complaining to his label about how it wasn't fair and how he wanted to get out of his deal. So, fell off, I guess. XXX Tentacion is now deceased. Had he still been alive right now, I'm pretty sure he'd be a super ultra mega star as long as his legal issues didn't get in the way. Made in Tokyo, as far as his XXL predictions probably went, I guess you could say he fell off. He still makes cool music, I guess, but as far as popularity, fell off. Playboy Carti is the man right now and is embracing his vampire side. Ugly God fell off, hoping he makes a comeback eventually. Amine is still doing pretty well for himself. Jay Perico, Kyle, So in retrospect, this list is pretty disappointing. And as of 2021, only 3 of them prove that they deserve to be on the cover. And X is dead, so pretty much only 2. And that's just what it is. So that's pretty much it for this episode. If you made it all the way through the video, thank you. And on the next episode, we're going to see what the Flower Boy is up to. Also, I know it's a little early, but I'm starting up a second channel where I'll be doing more analysis videos, more so on specific artists or specific ideas I have that people don't talk about much or think about much. It's called RHH Chronicles. It'll be a more in-depth look on some specific artists on some very specific topics. I'll be uploading videos to there very soon. First episode will be DJ Academics versus Vic Mensa. So if you like this video, and if you're maybe interested in the videos I'm going to put on my other channel, please go subscribe over there. Have your notifications on here and there. And that's the end of it.